Here is to look at the wine from a culinary perspective, or what I like to say, treating wine as a food, not as a beverage. As a food, we're going to pull out those food flavors and to identify what's happening in the glass and how it's going to work with the plate. So if everybody would pick up the glass by the stem, start swirling it around. The goal here is to get the aroma out of the glass and the oxygen in. And normally we do this with reds, but it works with any varietal. By the way, if you're not comfortable up in the air, it looks really good down here too. At some point, I want you to get your nose in the glass, and I want you to take a big, deep breath of the aroma. By the way, stop swirling before you put your nose in the glass. Get in there, and just take it for a second and think, okay, I smell, and then fill in the blank for me. What do you think you smell?
Lime. A little bit of lime.
A little bit of lime, yeah. Definitely citrus. I think you nailed it with lime. Yeah, I could pick up what it is. Anybody else?
Honeydew.
Honeydew? Okay. If you smell, here's the thing, if you smell it, nobody else has to smell it, but if you think it's there, it's there. We'll talk about why that's important. Anything?
So I stuffed up. So.
Oh, okay.
I don't really smell very much. I actually did.
We'll fix that with the first course. Okay, so we got a little bit of lime, a little bit of melon. Here's the thing. We're going to try to isolate those food flavors so we can match the stuff on the plate. What I want to do before we take a sip is to cleanse everybody's palate, because I'm not sure who's had a cocktail before they arrived. Okay, the only honest one in the group right here. Okay. The reason I ask that is, depending on where you're coming from, if you've had another glass of wine, if you haven't eaten in a couple hours, or like me, if you just brush your teeth, it's going to be a whole different experience in your mouth. What I want everybody to do is take a small sip of wine, and we're going to gargle. We're going to get that wine around our gums, under our tongue, roof of the mouth, really inundate your palate. But don't spit it back in the glass, and don't put your head back. This is all about getting your palate cleansed, and I'll show you what I mean if you're not sure. And finally swallow. And almost immediately you get this. It doesn't work with crust, I have to say that. It's just like sour. Yeah, here. Anybody else getting like right back here? Unless you're stuffed up, you're probably not getting any of this, right?
It was sour.
It was sour? Oh, good, you got that.
Yeah.
Excellent. All right. Well, whether you like it or not, I'm going to tell you that this isn't the wine right now. This is all of us. You guys especially, but all of us. Humans by nature are acidic on the pH scale. So whenever you put something, even a little bit of acid in your mouth, it gets blown up acid in your mouth. It's kind of like those sour candies. You ever put one in your mouth and it's like, wow, are you kidding me, sour? But if you hang in there with it, it kind of dissipates. It's not so bad. That's what's happening. And the time it takes me to walk you through this, it's already gone. That sourness is not going to be as bad when we actually take the initial taste. And what's happened is your palate is changing. The pH is balancing out. It's kind of like when you're out socially drinking. You take a sip of wine, you're not sure if you like it. Unless you gargle before you take every sip of wine, or every sip of new wine, I should say, it takes 3 or 4 sips before you really know if you like it, which is why you're not sure if you like it right away. But here's the deal. We've taken enough time. We're going to take a sip to see what it tastes like. So everybody's going to take a small amount, put it in your mouth, then I want you to pucker like you're going to whistle. But instead of blowing out, you're going to breathe in. So it's going to be a... As you do it, we're going to lean forward just a little bit because there's about 13.5% alcohol, and I don't want to see any of that wine come up. And I want to kind of ask you all, as you're doing it, what foods do you taste? So let's do this together. Softer, not as acidic.
I still taste pear.
What do you taste? Pear?
Pear.
Yeah, so do I. Big time. Yeah, pear.
Delicious.
Yeah.
With a little bite.
A little bite. Okay. Delicious
Yeah,
apple.
I don't taste melon at all now.
And is anybody getting honey or caramel or something like that? Yeah, okay, good. Here's the deal. Let's kind of pick one of those items, and since pear was what we both agreed on, assume for a minute that you have a raw pear in front of you, and now you've got to create a dish around the raw pear. What do you guys like to eat with pears?
Cheese.
Cheese. If pears and cheese go well together, then cheese and this wine goes well together. If that pear was turned into a sauce, like an apple sauce, what would you eat with it? Meat. What kind of meat, David? Pork. So if pork and pear goes well together, pork and the wine goes well together. If you're vegetarian or you just like to eat seafood as opposed to just eating vegetarian, something fatty like a fatty fish, like salmon or mackerel would work really well with it. So the rule of thumb is whenever you taste a food item in a wine, think, what do I like to normally eat with that food item? And 99% of the time, that food item will work with the wine, just kind of replace it. And you can take it to the next level. With pears, I like peanut butter. And although you might not sit back and think peanut butter and wine, I'm not sure. But an Indonesian Thai peanut sauce would be beautiful with it. So you can always take an adaptation of it as well. The goal tonight is to think about the wine, how it's performing as a food, and just have fun with it. Because you know what, at the end of the day, this is all about having fun. It doesn't matter all the technical stuff we throw at you. You either like it or you don't. And hopefully tonight you're going to like it. On that note, anything you want to add?
No, it's beautiful.
Okay, so I'm going to